Conservation, the act of conserving, prevention of injury, decay, waste, or loss. My passion is to change the world, not necessarily the people of the world, which would be cool too, but the state that the world is in and the environment is in. Today I would like to inform you about jobs as a conservation scientist. There are many. I'll be going through the different types of jobs, what a typical day might look like, and the salaries of specific fields of conservation scientists. My first point is discussing the different jobs that are available. Depending on where you want to be located, depending on what specific focus you want to be in, or depending on the salary, it can change. For example, the first one is a conservation land manager. So according to Truity.com, a conservation land manager works for land trust or other conservation organizations to protect wildlife. So essentially their job is to do what it takes and look at different habitats and see what's going wrong and see what we can do to improve the state that they're in and to conserve the natural beauty that's already set in stone there. Another opportunity for a conservational scientist is a soil and water conservationist. And so essentially what they do is they go and they survey land. So for example, a farmer might hire a person to come in and look at their soil and look at the water on their farm and determine what is a good plan for them, what kind of crops they should be farming, and what the state of their soil is. Because if it's farmed too much, then all the nutrients tend to come out of the soil. There's also many different opportunities within local governments, federal government, schools, advocacy groups, and local businesses. And to compare what a conservationist might do, if anybody has seen the show Parks and Rec and know Leslie Knope, she is a Parks and Rec representative, and so she goes and she looks at the land and she looks at how we can conserve the land that we have. So a typical day in the life of a conservationist might vary. It could be field work, going out into people's lands and taking samples of water, soil, etc. Or it could be within a lab, and they would be doing tests on water, or they would be rehabilitating land. There was also opportunities to develop new technologies that can help conserve and protect and to build up land that has been abused. And the last thing I would like to inform you about today is the salaries of a conservation scientist. And these are all from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Within a local government, a typical median salary would be around $55,000. Working for an advocacy organization, so if you were to be an advocate at a government level or a lobbyist, you might be looking at around a $66,000 salary. And then oftentimes at universities, instructors and professors are paid to conduct research and to teach students, and so their salaries often tend to be higher. So this is typically they would be getting around $70,000. And so here's a map of what the average or the mean salary is, and as you can see in Minnesota, it's a pretty high salary compared to states like Texas or Iowa. We have a range between $65,000 and $70,000. In conclusion, there are many different job opportunities and locations, and the salary is a pretty average salary, but as I said, there are many different jobs within the field of conservation within the field of conservation scientists. The work might be different depending on the day, and the salaries can range from a pretty comfortable way of life. And I'd like to end with a quote today from Ron Swanson, and that quote is, "The National Park System is probably the only branch of government worth a damn."